Okay, it's just a little review about graphing lines. So these are just some review problems, and for the basic methods we use here. So here's a line, x equals 3. Now sometimes we get confused whether this is a horizontal or vertical line, so just try a couple of points. Remember, you can graph a line with 2 points. So this tells me x equals 3, so I'm just going to put 3 here for x. And it doesn't matter what y is, so if y could be 0, x is 3, y could be 2, x is 3. So I got a couple of points, and I could put those points down. X is 3, y is 0. Put them in red. X is 3, y is 0. And x is 3, y is 2, so there's 2 points, and you can see what we have. It looks like we have a vertical line, so you can just draw that straight up and down like that. And there's your line. It's a vertical line. I think I used a ruler on the next one. That didn't come up very good. Okay, and this next one, y equals -1. Well, all I know is that y is -1, so I'll put a -1 here for y. And it doesn't matter what x is, so I can try x is 0, and I could try x is 5. Doesn't matter any numbers for x, because all it tells you is y is -1. So when y is -1, so I have got 0, -1. And I got 5, -1. So there's a couple points, so then I can connect those with a line. I'll use a ruler this time. So I get a good line. Much better. And there's your line. And sometimes we can label these y equals -1, and this one x equals 3. So I hope that kind of reviews vertical and horizontal lines. The next example here, this is one that's in slope-intercept form. All right. We know that if we've got the equation in the form y equals mx plus b, whatever is in front of x is the slope. So in this case, my slope is 2/3. That means I'm going to go up 2 over 3. The change in y over the change in x, or the rise over the run. So the vertical change over the horizontal change. So my vertical change is 2 for every horizontal change of 3. All right, and this is the intercept, and this tells me that the point -3, the point -3 is where the line crosses the y-axis. That means x is 0, and y is -3. So if I see that -3, it means I have a point 0, -3. That's the main idea. So if I put that point down here, 0, -3, there's what my y-intercept. Remember, this is in the form, I guess I should write it above over here, y equals mx plus b. All right? M's your slope, and b tells you the intercept, or tells you that the point 0, whatever this is on the line. Now my slope is 2 over 3, so that means I go up 2 over 3, so that means this is my vertical and horizontal changes. So I'll go up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, and there's my second point. I could get another point by going up 2 over 3 if I want, but I only need 2 points, and I connect that with a line, and I'd be in business here. So that's how we graph them if they are in slope-intercept form. And sometimes we ask you to label the lines. Okay. Now, example 4, this is in standard form. In other words, the x's and the y's are on the left and the numbers on the right. Sometimes they're called general form. They have different names for these different books, so I just chose to call this standard form. Okay, it may be called general form in other textbooks, so they vary. All right, so in this one, this is where we use the intercepts, or when we have zeros, because it's a lot easier to do this one. In other words, when x is 0, what's 3 times 0? 0, so that term goes away, and now I have this very simple little equation. if 2x equals 6, what does x equal? Well, I divide both sides by 2 and I get x equals 3. And then when y is 0, I just cover that up and I have this simple little equation, 3x equals 6, because 2 times 0 is 0, so that goes away. And if I divide both sides by 3, I get x equals 2. So there's my other intercept. So this is the x and y intercepts. This is where it crosses the y-axis because the x value is 0, so I can put that point down, 0, 3. And this is where it crosses the y-axis. I'm sorry, this is where it crosses the x-axis when the y is 0, so x is 2. So the y-intercept has a value and the x-intercept has a value other than 0. Okay? So this is the y-intercept, this is the x-intercept. Where it crosses the y-axis at x at 0, 3, or y equals 3, crosses the x-axis at the point 2, 0, or when x is 2. So there's your 2 points, and that's all you need, and you can graph the line. There we go. Now I kind of looked at this and I could tell that I go down 3 over 2, so that's my slope. So in order to find another point, I went down 3 over 2 to make sure I would get a good line. And that's all you have to do. And if you want to label that line, you could label that 3x plus 2y equals 6. Now, just by looking at this line, we've got the intercept of 3 and we've got the slope of 3 over 2. So we could actually tell by looking at it, just by looking at this line, that if we want to write it in slope-intercept form, we could write it as y equals. It looks like I'm going down 3 over 2, so the slope of negative 3 halves x, and the intercept is 3. So that would give me the same line. There's my intercept, so 3. That's the b, and the slope is down 3 over 2, or negative 3 halves. So that would give me the same thing. Just by looking at it, we can tell. Okay? So there's kind of 3 pretty good examples of graphing lines.